We start this what if off with a young Naruto. A young Naruto, maybe 4 years old, as he's running around the village once again at nighttime with a paint bucket in his hand. Of course, you already know what he's about to do. He spots his target, two Chunin, standing next to a building as he leans over the edge of the roof and pours the paint bucket on the two Chunins and runs away laughing, as he also drops the paint bucket and it falls on their head. The two Chunin, obviously enraged at this, decide to chase after Naruto, running after him at full speed, with Naruto eventually hiding behind a corner, thinking he lost them. Eventually, when he came out, he realized that they were actually still there. One of the ninjas was an expert tracking ninja, and he knew that Naruto was hiding there, as Naruto just realized he was screwed. As when the two Chunin recognized him, they said, "Oh, would you look at that? It's the nine-tailed brat." That rhymes. That didn't mean to rhyme. Well, looks like today we've got a little something to do on our hands. Why don't we teach this kid a lesson? As Naruto tried to struggle and run away, but they caught him from both sides as they started tying him up with a rope and dragged him out to the forest. As they put them up against a tree, and they said, "This will be fun." And one took out a kunai, while the other just started kicking and punching Naruto. They were just using him as a training bag, a punching bag, as they let out all of their anger on Naruto, stabbing him, beating him, until Naruto's eyes just started to close, as he realized that there was no escaping from this unbearable pain, and just drifted away into another world. As at that moment, the two Chunin realized that Naruto was dead and the job was done. So they said, serves him right. Meanwhile, we go to Naruto, as he appears in a room, completely dark room with a little bit of dim green lighting. He looks down at the ground, seeing the water below his feet, and he sees another thing, a cage, a huge cage. As he goes next to the cage, seeing the nine-tailed fox within, as he says, what happened? Did I die? As Kurama says, well, not really. I can explain what happened. As Naruto asks him what's going on, and Kurama explains that he is the nine-tails that everyone has been talking about, and he possesses a lot of power, that if Naruto wants to get revenge on those people, if he wants to come back to life, a second shot per se, Kurama is his key to doing that. Having Kurama inside of him is the only reason Naruto is even remotely alive-ish at the moment. Kurama, he has the ability to save Naruto. He can help him become powerful, get his revenge on the Chunin, and finally gain some respect. Because as Kurama was trapped inside of Naruto for so long, being inside of Naruto, he not only saw what Naruto saw, but he also experienced his pain. And he was sick and tired of all of these villagers, and he, just like Naruto, wanted to get revenge. Almost even more, because while Naruto was in a state of despair, I guess, Kurama was in a state where he just wanted revenge on the villagers, showing them their place against something like the Nine-Tails. As they made a deal, and right as the Chunins were walking away from Naruto's body, a bright orange glowing light started emitting off of it. As they turned around, and there's just this orange aura, this bubbly aura, just completely surrounding Naruto's body as he shoots back up to his feet. His entire presence, his demeanor has completely changed, as the bloodlust is just almost visible coming off of him, as the two Chunin are stunned, frozen in their tracks, with Naruto blitzing at them with shocking speed and kicking and killing them almost instantly with the incredible burst of power from the Nine Tails given to him. And the two Chunin die. This mode looks a little bit like Kurama influence, like QB influence, but it has the color of like the orangish color of KCM. It's called, well, not yet, but no, I won't spoil it. Either way, Hiruzen, meanwhile, in his Hokage's office, is sitting with his crystal ball, watching Naruto do this, as he's both shocked at what the Chunins did, but even more shocked at what Naruto did, as he decides to just keep quiet about it and not say anything. From then on, Kurama actually starts helping to train Naruto and make himself stronger, as for the next few years, all the way until the academy, Naruto trains with Kurama every day and every night until he becomes stronger. And by that point, Naruto actually is extremely powerful. Maybe he's around Sasuke level, right? Because in the original, Sasuke was miles ahead of him. But just Naruto in his base state, right? Base, no Kurama help and everything. Naruto in his base state is as powerful as Sasuke at that age. So he ends up going to the academy, and that day at the academy, Iruka says that, they're gonna have a bunch of cool stuff because it's the first day. So although the written exam that wasn't very fun, they also had athleticism, like durability, aim, like kunai throwing tests, where Naruto usually won in the durability and strength-based ones, but Sasuke won in the aim and skill and intelligence-based ones. Which was why, when they eventually end up going against each other in the spar, it just made the outcome of the match even more interesting, as they both got in the ring and Iruka started the battle, as they both rushed in at each other and started fighting. Sasuke threw shuriken at Naruto, but Naruto was able to dodge most of them. One scraped his elbow, but he was able to regenerate pretty quickly because of the Nine Tails' regenerative power. Of course, this surprised Sasuke, but he didn't mind too much as they continued to fight with their taijutsu. In terms of taijutsu, Naruto was just a little bit stronger, which gave him the upper hand as he started to overwhelm Sasuke and push him backward. But Sasuke had another trick up his sleeve, as he took a quick jump backward and started weaving hand signs as he said, "Fireball, jutsu," and he sent a huge fireball in Naruto's direction. Naruto only got hit a little bit by the impact of this fireball, but even just that little bit did a lot of damage, as Naruto was sent flying backward and honestly didn't know what to do, and as he got back up trying to regenerate using the Nine Tails' power, but it just wasn't enough, as Sasuke dashed toward him, kicking him out of the ring, as Sasuke won the match. At the end, Sasuke's jutsu was just too powerful for Naruto. Naruto couldn't overcome it, as suddenly his body got filled with rage and bloodlust as he just shot Sasuke a stare that, even though Sasuke had just won, sent like shivers up his spine. And Iruka and everyone watching realized that if this match had gone on, like if this match was not about getting out of the ring, but like about who got like knocked out first, for example, Naruto after this would have absolutely decimated Sasuke just because of the aura he was emitting off of him and all the like bloodlust and rage directed towards Sasuke. As from then on, Naruto got really mad at himself for not being strong enough and made it his goal to surpass Sasuke no matter what. Of course, at that night while he was sleeping, he went back into his mindscape to talk with Kurama, discussing a way to get stronger, because at this point Naruto wasn't looking like he was making too much progress. As he spoke to Kurama and he said, you could have won that fight. You were pretty strong, but he was stronger. As Naruto shot back saying, yeah, I know that, I'm aware, but this strength isn't enough. A maybe win isn't something that will satisfy me. I need to destroy him. I need to become miles more powerful. As Kurama just said, well, I might know a way. As we flash forward to Naruto in the library, researching on books, spending all of his free time outside of school, and even starting to skip school for like a few days, just to research, looking at maps, until he finds what he's looking for. He puts together the map and packs his food, packs his clothing, and takes off without telling anybody, leaving the village to go to this secret destination. After about 1 week of traveling, eating, and just survival in the forest, he finally sees it. He finally sees he's made it to his destination, as he can just, out of the corner of his eyes, see the ruins. As suddenly, excitement just sparks within him as he speeds up, running full speed at the area. When he arrives, seeing the broken buildings and just the ruins that remain, he's kind of disappointed, but not surprised either, as he looks up and sees the Uzumaki symbol. This is the remains of the Uzumaki clan, as he looks to his right and sees exactly what he was looking for, the ancient Uzumaki library. As he steps inside and just looks at the walls, filled from like left to right, top to bottom, with books on books on books, as he would stay there for an entirety of a month, just looking at those books, studying every last one of them, and studying and training with all of the ancient Uzumaki books and learning all of their secrets. He would learn after, looking at the books on the Jinchuriki and the tailed beasts and their modes and their power-ups. He would learn about the existence of something called baryon mode, a mode powerful enough to defeat any opponent, at the cost, though, of your own life. This mode would be so powerful, it would say that nobody has ever come even close to rivaling the strength of a baryon mode user. The only problem with baryon mode is that once somebody uses it, they die. It's almost like the 8th gate, but just stronger and more guaranteed death, because my guy did survive due to Naruto's Sage of Six Paths Healing, but here, to survive, either the tailed beast or the Jinchuriki themselves has to die after using this form, so it can't ever be used again. But he also continues researching because he's not satisfied with this result. He needs a way he can use this form without any, cost, I guess. He finds out, though, that if you're able to collect 3 very specific sacrifices that you will make sacrifice their life energy instead of yours, you can access a sort of unlimited baryon mode called constant baryon. And this is what intrigues Naruto's attention. Such a power would make him the most powerful being in the universe by a long shot. He would be able to solo the entire Narutoverse, which is actually true of baryon mode, because it is the most powerful, most OP thing witnessed in the entire series ever so far. But the requirements for the 3 sacrifices were a Sage mode user, somebody with a Kekkei Genkai, and a powerful, strong opponent. Now, the only one he understood right away was the powerful opponent. Of course, he knows what a powerful opponent means, but he didn't have much of an idea about what Kekkei Genkais and Sage mode users were. Until, of course, he did more research. Surprise, surprise. As this is the biggest library in the world with the most information. So he made research on both Sage mode, its powers, its weaknesses, if it has any, its users, just to understand what he was getting at, and also what Kekkei Genkai were, and how they worked, and how he could look out for those. So now, with a clear goal in mind, and knowing exactly what he was looking for, and how he was going to get these sacrifices, after learning everything he needed, he headed back to the village. Back to the village just in time for the graduation exams, just a day before. As he finally arrived back at the village and went to the academy on the day of the graduation exam, and Naruto was surprised about Naruto. I mean, everybody had thought that he just died, that he just disappeared somehow. But no, Naruto was back, and something about him, it just felt different. He looked and felt more powerful, just something about his demeanor. It was, well, different. Now, either way, sorry, my words just fail to function. Iruka announces the graduation exam, I can't speak, and says that there will in fact be sparring. Hearing this, Naruto is finally happy as he says, this time I will beat Sasuke. As forget all of the other stuff is basic, like performing a jutsu. Naruto can do all of that stuff because Kurama isn't interfering with Naruto's chakra, which honestly, this is true, like in canon Naruto. If Kurama wasn't interfering with Naruto's chakra, he would have been a prodigy. It's just all Kurama's fault, really. But now that Kurama is on Naruto's team, there's really not much that can interfere with that. But either way, the spar. Naruto and Sasuke both get in the ring once more for the final time in the academy. As Sasuke says, well, you're back again, aren't you? I'll show you your place. I'll show you that you can't beat me, no matter how hard you try, or how many times you randomly disappear and come back. I will always be stronger. As they both run in, and they start fighting, and Sasuke throws his shuriken at Naruto again, but this time Naruto completely dodges them without even getting hit at all. And as Sasuke is just trying to beat oh my god, can't speak, Naruto with his fists. Naruto, if last time he was barely overpowering Sasuke, like it was Naruto 55% and Sasuke 45%, this time Naruto's absolutely dominating him, kind of like 70% and 30%. As Sasuke realizes, well, there's only one thing I can do, isn't there? I'll just have to beat you, just like I did last time. Didn't want to do this because it's not the most creative, but it doesn't seem like I have much of a choice. As he starts weaving the hand signs, as he says, fireball, but then Uzumaki chains appear from Naruto's back. A skill that Naruto learned from spending time in the Uzumaki area, reading all the books and but generally learning this technique. As using the Uzumaki chains, he's able to grab Sasuke's hands, stopping him from weaving the hand signs as he runs at Sasuke, saying, this time, I will be the winner, as he kicks out Sasuke from the ring, just the way Sasuke did the previous fight, winning the spar. Of course, after this, Sasuke is pretty mad. I mean, he did just lose to, well, kind of his biggest rival at this point. And Sasuke, he kind of in his head, kind of almost the same way Naruto did, vows to become stronger and defeat Naruto. But for this time, Naruto has taken the win. One of many wins, may I add, because honestly, in this what if, Naruto is going to be a lot stronger than Sasuke is. So yeah, just saying, just pointing that out. Either way, the next day, everybody heads over back to the academy to learn who their senseis are going to be. And in Naruto's case, that sensei will be Kakashi. And he will be in a team with Sasuke and Sakura. Which, for Naruto, that's great, that's perfect. I mean, he's with his enemy, but being with his enemy means he can get stronger and train harder. Sakura, on the other hand, she's not that good. She's kind of useless, but we don't talk about that. Yeah, either way, they just wait for Kakashi. And they wait, and Kakashi just doesn't arrive, at all. He just decides to, not exist or something. Until eventually, in a few hours, Kakashi finally comes and tells Team 7 to meet him on the roof. And, Team 7, obviously, goes up to the roof, meets him on the roof, and Kakashi tells them to all introduce themselves, with Naruto explaining, Sasuke doing his whole emo thing, where he's like, I'm gonna give my brother, I'm not gonna do it, cause I've done it for Sakura as well. I've been doing them, voicing them every single time this happens, and every single time I sound cringe, super cringe. So I've decided from now on I'm not gonna do it, but Sasuke does the same thing he always says, and Sakura, same thing. She's even more cringe, saying, I like it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna do the voice. But yeah, Naruto, on the other hand, shares his goals, and once again says he likes ramen and he likes training. He dislikes people who pick on the weak, and his goal is to become the Hokage, and one day the strongest in the universe, which surprises Kakashi and Sasuke, but they don't really laugh at him. Only in their head they're just like, that's a pretty big goal for a newly Genin, but I mean, okay, if you say so. Either way, Kakashi says, well, meet me at precisely 7 at the training grounds tomorrow, and make sure you don't eat. Goodbye, and he just poofs into smoke. And as Kakashi says goodbye to the Genin. So anyway, last time we left off, Team 7 was just going to the training grounds to do the bell test. Anyway, Kakashi just basically explains how the bell test works, which, we all know how the bell test works. There's 2 bells, you have to get the bells to pass, blah, blah, blah. Technically, it's all about teamwork, and the getting the bells thing is just like a trick, but, if somebody does end up getting the bells, I guess that would count as well. Either way, Kakashi tells them to start, and they all head off, immediately run off into the woods where, they start making a plan, where, Sasuke goes off thinking about, what he should do. Sakura goes off, thinking about what she should do, which is just to hide, because he is an absolute trash bag. But either way, Naruto, on the other hand, does not. And Naruto just attacks Kakashi head on, just goes straight in there and attacks Kakashi, just going straight for the bells. I mean, Naruto is extremely powerful, in terms of, generally just his strength. I mean, he has trained a lot, so he is a lot stronger, than most people. Sorry, guys, my brain just completely froze there, I just stopped thinking, my brain just shut off. But yeah. They would just keep fighting Naruto versus Kakashi, head on, just taijutsu, nothing else. Just mixing in some jutsu here and there, but generally, it's just straight up equal ground. They're just fighting taijutsu, kind of like what happened with Sasuke and Kakashi. And Kakashi really starts to get impressed by, Naruto's strength and abilities. and mastery, like a genin shouldn't be this powerful. So he is impressed. Kakashi is impressed. But Naruto, starts to get overwhelmed, because Kakashi is a Jonin. Like, how powerful do you expect Naruto to be? Even if he is being trained by the Nine Tails, he's not Jonin level yet, as a Genin, like newly as a Genin. But meanwhile, as Kakashi is concentrating all of his attention to Naruto, Sasuke sees an opening and swoops in to get the bells. Kakashi, unfortunately, does notice this and just does a back kick, sending Sasuke flying right back. But then, Sasuke recovers himself and realizing that, well, now he has revealed where he's hiding. What point is there in just continuing to hide? He just decides to join the battle, and now Kakashi starts fighting both of them at the same time. Now, Naruto here decides to, step it up a little bit to become stronger so he can rival Kakashi and Kakashi's strength. So he activates his new Kurama influence mode. Or as it's not the Kurama influence mode. He just generally starts to borrow chakra from the Nine Tails. Like, remember how, for example, when Naruto was like, Jiraiya threw Naruto off the cliff, and Naruto talked to Kurama, and Kurama gave him chakra so he could summon Gamabunta, right? And that wasn't necessarily a mode. It wasn't like he was in Kurama influence mode or anything. He just borrowed chakra from the Nine Tails. The Nine Tails just kind of helped him out, gave him some of his chakra, that sort of stuff, which is kind of what's happening here. Kurama is helping Naruto out by more than doubling, like quintupling maybe, or quadrupling his chakra reserve just by constantly sending him just chakra. So when that starts to happen, Naruto starts to gain the upper hand, and Kakashi starts to focus more on Naruto. Just, once again, even though he's fighting two people, he really has to put way more of his attention on Naruto, because remember, Kakashi doesn't have his Sharingan active. So in this state, Naruto is actually starting to overpower Kakashi, because he both has training and is getting a lot of chakra from the Nine Tails itself. And in this moment, Sasuke is able to just go in and get the bells. Kakashi, Sasuke gets the bell, and Kakashi, noticing that Sasuke just took a bell, just turns his attention to Sasuke for an instant, and in that moment, Naruto is able to just go in and barely snatch the other bell as well. I think both of those work. Snatch. I might sound like a complete idiot right now, but I think both of them work. Either way, Team 7 passes, and Kakashi is actually very impressed with Naruto's and Sasuke's strength, although Sakura needs a little bit of improvement. Just a little bit. Yeah, who am I kidding? She's just still a pink trash bag. But yeah. So since they are now an official team, they start going on boring D-rank missions, and obviously so, they all start getting bored because sorry, but this is a team with Kakashi, one of the strongest Jonin out there, who has a Tsutomu Sharingan, Naruto, son of the 4th Hokage and Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and Sasuke, who is an Uchiha and a prodigy. Forget Sakura, just those three by themselves is a very powerful team. So when they ask Hiruzen for a more difficult mission, he really can't say anything except for, accepting and being like, you know what, sure, just have a harder mission. I really can't be bothered with arguing with you right now. You're powerful anyway. You can have this C rank escort mission to escort Tazuna. sorry. But they're like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. So the next day, they meet up at the gate with Tazuna and decide that now they will be heading off to the land of waves. So they head off. They've all got food, a bit of food packed, a bit of like water, all the essential stuff, right? But even still, like with the small water bottle, let's say they have with them, it's just so hot, and it has been hot. There's like been no rain. It's just completely heat for the past week, almost. So it is very hot, and they are walking all the way to the land of waves. So they do end up getting very tired. So you can guess that, when a bunch of people who are dying from the heat are very thirsty, and are like running low on water, when they see a random puddle on the side of the road, they're gonna be suspicious of it. Naruto does notice this, although he just kind of puts it in the back of his mind, not like thinking about if that there might be enemies inside of the puddle, because the puddle doesn't look deep. But he does notice the puddle, and he is like, if somebody jumps out of there, he's not going to be subscribed. Speaking of which, you guys should be subscribed because it helps me out a lot, and I'm trying to reach 2K subs. Yeah, but I meant surprised. Which is funny because the Demon Brothers do end up jumping out of the puddle and attacking Naruto and the rest of Team 7. As I said, Naruto literally just notices them and basically just kicks one of the Demon Brothers like far away, just like with a bunch of force, while Sasuke deals with the other Demon Brother who has the chain, just like he did in the original. And Kakashi, who was planning on like pretending to die, which I still don't get, like to this day. Why would you do that? Like, these are 2 weak Chunin levels, and you basically just effectively got one of your students poisoned for no reason when you could have just taken them on. But, in this, Kakashi actually stays and decides to take care of the Demon Brothers himself, and, they take care of the Demon Brothers pretty easily that way. So yeah, no surprise there. And if you did hear some background noise there, like somebody running down the halls and then screaming inside that's my little brother. I think this is starting to become a common theme in my videos. I really have to put like a do not disturb sign on my door, but like just in this part of the what if, right? Like I've been recording for 10 minutes. First my mom walked into my room, then my dad, and now my little brother. It really does get annoying, but yeah, there's not much I can do about it. Either way, yeah, where were we? Demon Brothers dead, and they continue off on their just like lost my entire train of thought, but yeah. Either way, the mist starts rolling in, and we already know this to be none other than Zabuza. And like, Team 7 does kind of question the fog, but Tazuna says, this is the Hidden Mist Village. I'm pretty sure Land of Waves isn't the Hidden Mist Village. I do believe so. This should be common knowledge, but like I'm still not 100% sure. But yeah, so he's just like, yeah, this is the Hidden Mist Village. You're gonna expect to see some mist. Pretty obvious. And that does sound like a reasonable explanation, until, of course, a random blade comes flying in through the air, trying to chop your head off. Yeah, that's something that normally happens when they're mist. Mist, flying blades, trying to kill you, same thing. I don't see anything wrong with that. But either way, Team 7 actually wants to survive, so they duck under the blade as it gets itself lodged in a tree. Anyways, this fight goes pretty much the same as in the original. Zabuza lands on his blade, does his whole, talk with Kakashi, being like, oh, Kakashi, of the Sharingan, the copy ninja, Kakashi the copy ninja, and Kakashi's like, oh, it's Zabuza the mist, and then they have their entire fight where Kakashi gets cocky, doesn't use his Sharingan, gets trapped in the water prison, all of the usual stuff. But Naruto uses water walking, right? And he does know this, because remember, he has been trained by the strongest tailed beast, except for, of course, the 10 tails, but I'm not counting that. I mean, he has been trained by Kurama and has spent years studying in the ancient Uzumaki libraries. So, I mean, I can't say that he can't water walk. Not only that, but Naruto was a prodigy in the original. The only thing that was stopping him from using jutsus was the 9 tails interfering with his chakra. In this version, the 9 tails is helping out with his chakra, so logically speaking, he should be even more of a prodigy than Minato, so there is no reason for him not to be able to water walk. Anyway, yeah, so Naruto water walks his way over to Zabuza, and suddenly, something just completely changes about Naruto. And if before he just seemed like a normal Genin Chunin level, just young shinobi, he's just entire demeanor and the energy that he was giving off changed. As suddenly the aura around him just completely spiked up, as this orange sort of just auras started going around him, appearing, and Zabuza was shocked, just to see this immense amount of chakra going around Naruto, as in front of Zabuza's eyes, Naruto just disappeared, reappearing behind him and kicking him in the back with an incredible amount of force. And they immediately got to fighting, with Zabuza and Naruto clashing at almost equal strength. But Naruto, in this state, I mean, mostly his only purpose here was to free Kakashi out of his own prison. So, after getting a few punches on Zabuza, Zabuza was able to hit him with a powerful water-style jutsu, and Naruto got sent back. But he grinned, realizing that he had already done what he needed to do. As while Naruto was still falling back down to the ground from Zabuza's punch, Zabuza also got punched right in the head from behind by none other than Kakashi, this time with his Sharingan active. And you guys already know how this goes. Kakashi absolutely destroys Zabuza using his Sharingan, and Zabuza gets blasted just into a tree and gets knocked out. And as Kakashi is moving up to Zabuza, about to finish off the job, Haku comes in, striking special, certain points in Zabuza's body to knock him out and make him seem like he is dead, as he claims that he's a mistracking nin, and just takes Zabuza and body flickers out of there. As Kakashi, being already kind of exhausted from using his Sharingan, is too tired to argue with the supposed tracking ninja, so he just kind of accepts it and moves on. Either way, with that, they go to Tasuna's house, taking the boat there, and they eat some really good food because Tasuna's daughter, I actually forgot her name. I've heard a bunch of different whatevers call it a bunch of different things, tsunami, not Tazumi, just a bunch of different names, but I don't know, I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not sure I'll be correct. So yeah, just Tasuna's daughter would cook a delicious meal for the team. And yeah, the next day, after everybody is rested, Kakashi has recovered from the chakra exhaustion and everything like that, they head off over to a open area in the forest so that Kakashi can train Team 7 and help them improve their chakra control. So, Sakura and Sasuke train on tree walking, and since Sakura gets tree walking quickly, she can move on to trying water walking, but Kakashi already knows Naruto can do both of them, so he kind of just does hand-to-hand combat training with Naruto, which he also already excels at, but there's no reason not to train. You still gotta train. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm already perfect at it, and just stop training, because then you'll fall behind. So he trains. Now, you guys might be hearing that I'm pausing the video a lot, but that's just because there's so much background noise, and I'm not exaggerating, just every 2 minutes somebody's just barging into my room, so I kind of just have to cut the video and then continue from there. So that's that. But either way, continuing on with the what if. So after their training, Team 7 goes over to the bridge to help Tazna, build the bridge. I mean, that's literally why they're here. And wouldn't you know it, as they're working on the bridge, the fog, the mist, Zabuza's jutsu, whatever it's called, comes back. As suddenly, it's just, they can't even see anything. And the instant they see this happening, they already know who this is, as they look back to see Zabuza and Haku coming towards them. Now, seeing this, Naruto just tells Kakashi that, they'll take on Haku, as Kakashi says, yeah, I'll take on Zabuza. So, that's decided, and Sakura is just defending, Tazna. Tazna? Yeah, Tazna. Imagine I forgot his name. That would be kind of embarrassing, wouldn't it? But either way, Naruto, Sasuke, and Haku start fighting. And in the original, when Haku and Sasuke first had their hand-to-hand combat section, Sasuke was actually adapting and keeping up with Haku. And assuming that in this what if, Naruto is quite a bit stronger and faster than Sasuke in the original, that makes me make the pretty safe assumption that both Sasuke and Naruto combined in this what if would be able to take on Haku pretty decently, and they would actually be overwhelming Haku, just constantly attacking Haku from both sides. Naruto attacking him from the front and Sasuke from the back. That kind of does sound weird. That's kind of sus. Don't take that out of context, but either way, even with Haku's Senbon, it's really hard for Haku to defeat both of them at the same time, because this isn't really the place for Senbon, since they're on an open bridge and the mist isn't quite around their area. They're a bit further away from the mist. Zabuza and Kakashi are fighting in the mist. Haku is not. So Haku really has nowhere to hide. It's just plain strength and speed and skill, which Haku has a lot of, but so does Naruto. So as Haku starts to realize that he can't win just by doing this, he decides, fine, I'll use it. Didn't really want to kill them, but if it means that they're gonna end up killing Master Zabuza, I must finish them off. So, with that, Haku starts weaving hand signs as he says, the ice crystal demon mirror, just the ice mirrors, right? I don't remember the exact name. It was something like ice crystal demon mirrors, but let's just call them ice mirrors. As suddenly both Naruto and Sasuke are completely surrounded by ice mirrors, and Haku on the outside says, now you're dead, as he walks into the mirror and suddenly appears in all the mirrors, as Sasuke immediately, thinking fast, starts weaving hand signs and throws a powerful fireball jutsu at the mirrors. Yet doesn't work because the mirrors are too powerful for Sasuke's fireball. As we do know from the actual Naruto series, it was stated that, well, it is quite obvious actually. And as you know, Sasuke then tries the Phoenix Flower Jutsu. I still to this day do not know if it's Phoenix Fire Jutsu or Phoenix Flower Jutsu, because I remember it to be Phoenix Flower, but probably Phoenix Fire, I don't know. Just tries that as well, trying to hit all the mirrors in one go. Maybe that will affect Haku, but he realizes that once Haku has entered a mirror, he can no longer be hit. As Haku starts pulling out Senbon, and they just realize what is happening in that moment. But Naruto is concentrated on something else. Ice. Where had he heard that before? Ice release. Ice jutsu. Then it clicked in his head. It's a Kekkei Genkai. Realizing that Haku was one of the worthy sacrifices to achieve baryon mode, he said, Haku. Oh wait, he doesn't know Haku's name, so listen, whoever you are. I didn't want to kill you, but now I realize you have a certain something that I am after, so now you have to die. But Haku just ignores this and says, well, you'll have to think that again, as he starts throwing Senbon from all different directions, and Sasuke and Naruto just continue to dodge, but Haku just moves through the mirrors so quickly and can throw Senbon at such high speeds that they just struggle. And by struggle, I mean struggle a lot. But either way, after a while, Sasuke does awaken his One Tomoe Sharingan. But Naruto, not being an Uchiha, obviously, does not awaken a Sharingan, as for a moment he's caught off guard, and Sasuke with his Sharingan sees Haku throwing the Senbon at Naruto, realizing that unless Naruto can get out the way, he will die, as he, in a last-ditch effort, jumps in the way, trying to push Naruto out, while at the same time getting hit by the Senbon himself, as he drops to the ground and says, Naruto, you idiot, and then seemingly dies. As Naruto, seeing that, something just changes in him, as in that moment, his entire aura just completely changes, and slowly, Haku's just standing there, looking at Naruto, as this orange aura starts to, start coming off of him, as Haku feels fear just from the immense amount of chakra and killing intent oozing off of Naruto, as suddenly the aura around Naruto, the chakra surrounding him, goes to an incredible size, as Naruto turns around and says, now you've done it. And in a single rage-filled scream, he lets off an insane burst of chakra, completely destroying the ice mirrors in one go, as an intense pressure is just put on Haku, kind of not exactly like Orochimaru's thing where he stuns people from the fear, but a little bit like that almost, as Haku can't even almost can't even move as he's falling out of the sky, and Naruto taking a more let's say animal stance, the one he takes when he has the Nine Tails influence, and he leaps at Haku as he's still in the air at incredible speeds and punches Haku straight to the ground, causing a huge crack, like making a mini crater in the bridge, as Naruto comes down as well, punching Haku in the gut, and then picking up Haku by the face and stabbing his hand into his chest. As, he says, "That's what you get for killing Sasuke." And suddenly, the literal life energy of Haku starts getting sucked out of him. Just Naruto can see like this yellowish energy just coming out of Haku and through his hand into his arm and into his body, as he can feel the strength just like going into him as Haku's life energy, the first of the 3 sacrifices required for infinite baryon mode, had been acquired. Naruto, finally calming down, drops Haku, as at this same moment, Kakashi also stabs his hand into Zabuza's chest, as he dies as well. And, Gato's mercenaries do come eventually, but they really just get taken care of very easily. They're really not much of a problem. Sasuke, it turns out he didn't die, but you guys already knew this because you are fans of Naruto and you know he didn't actually die. And, after everybody recovered, they headed back to the village, with the bridge getting finally completed and named the Great Naruto Bridge. And yeah, so they head back to the village and report to Hiruzen about the mission. Anyway, last time we left off, Kakashi had just announced, well, actually, Kakashi was just about to announce the Chunin exams. And I just want to point something out. If you guys do hear background noise at any point during this what if, it is because there's like construction or something going like on right outside of my house. So it is what it is, but I can't really do anything about it. So I'm just letting you guys know that if you do hear that, that's why. But I did try to shut the background noise out, so it should be decent. Either way, Team 7 goes outside as Kakashi meets up with them, explaining that the Chunin exams are going to be happening soon, and asking them, of course, if they want to participate. Now, having no reason not to, Team 7 all accepts this and says, yeah, sure, let's do the Chunin exam, sounds good. And with that, Kakashi says, well, they have 1 week, so they can use that week to train, get better, get ready for the Chunin exams. And in this time, Naruto and Kurama start working on a new form. Yes, a new form. Now, I won't quite spoil what this form is quite yet. Of course, it's not baryon mode, but, it's gonna be pretty OP. That's all I can say. Either way, after the 1 week of training, Team 7 all groups up and heads over to the area where the Chunin exams are being held. Now, in the first part, and yes, I'm just skipping straight to the first part of the Chunin exams because I don't really feel like going over Rock Lee and the Chunin that were putting up the Genjutsu. I mean, like, it all happens, but I don't feel like going over it. There's nothing different from what happens in the original there. But yeah, either way, they arrive at the first part of the Chunin exams, and Ibiki comes in explaining that the first part of the Chunin exams is actually going to be a written test. Now, there were a lot of like groans in the background, just being like, "Oh, come on, not a written exam." There's like everybody kind of just being like, you know the noise like the classroom makes when the teacher says there's homework due tomorrow, like at the last minute of class. Yeah, that's just kind of how everybody was feeling. And well, with that, Ibiki hands out the test, and everybody gets to work. As Naruto looks at these questions and actually is able to answer about 4 of them, 4 out of the 9 questions, like about half of them, without even cheating. Because Naruto in this what if is really smart, and he also got help from Kurama. So, I mean, it makes sense. But as they were, going through the questions, Kurama realized that something was off, and Naruto kind of like, because he's talking with the Nine Tails, like, in his head, obviously. I mean, you always see him do it in, like, near the end of Naruto and in Boruto. He can casually just talk with the Nine Tails, like, in his head, without having to, like, disappear, like, go into his mindscape or something. He can just talk with him normally. So, they're just talking with each other, and Kurama realizes that something is off. Naruto asks what it is, and Kurama says that these questions are way too hard for Genin, and, it's just not normal that they would give these sorts of questions to someone trying to become a Chunin, because even a Jonin could possibly have difficulties with this. So they realize that you're actually supposed to cheat in these exams, but Naruto really doesn't need to cheat because he already has a bunch of them down. And, with that, Ibiki announces the 10th question and says, oh, by the way, the first 9 actually didn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And Naruto, of course, sticks around for the 10th question. I mean, why should he not? He is able to answer the questions for the most part, so he does. And Ibiki, once again, is like, oh, it was actually a tactical deception again, because guess what? Actually, this, I was just testing your will. Like, he does that thing, and everybody's just like, bro, oh my god. But either way, I mean, they can't complain. It saves them a lot of time not having to do the 10th question. So they're like, I mean, at least we passed. As in this moment, Anko smashes in through the window, being like, come on guys, meet me at the Forest of Death. And everybody just like looks up, looking at Anko, and Ibiki's just like shaking his head, being like, Anko, there's a door for a reason. I would recommend using it next time. As Anko completely ignores Ibiki and keeps talking, being like, okay, so yeah, do you want to be disqualified? Come on, part 2, Chunin exams, you passed, now, go. As everybody's like, okay, chill. And everybody goes over to where the second part of the Chunin exams are being held. This being the Forest of Death, of course. Now, after Anko explains the rules, and then casually just makes everybody sign their lives away, they all go to their starting areas, I believe, all spread out around like the perimeter of the Forest of the Dead. Yeah, Forest of the Dead. Bro, that's just, yeah. But Anko does her whole like countdown, and she's like, okay, come on, start. And everybody just runs straight in. Now, Naruto's team goes around looking for, anybody to take a scroll from. And at this current point in time, Naruto is just using his chakra sensing skills and also relying on Kurama a little bit to look for any chakra presences coming from any living beings, and just looking for the biggest chakra signatures. That's the right word. Because the humans will be like emitting the most chakra, and they'll be the most notable. Because I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm not sure. Okay, whatever. Yeah, just forget I said that. But either way, Naruto's looking for chakra to find people, as suddenly he realizes an extremely strong presence. Something like way stronger than anything he would expect from any of the Genin. And it's a very like dense and dark almost chakra signature, something Naruto is almost never felt before. And it almost feels as if there's multiple chakra signatures just mashed into one. This, as we all know, being Orochimaru's chakra. So, Naruto, although kind of like confused and maybe creeped out about this presence, does decide, you know what, what's the worst that could happen? And they decide just to follow Orochimaru's presence, as eventually they find him. And it's kind of funny because Orochimaru was looking for them and they were looking for him. Like, they weren't directly looking for Orochimaru, but Orochimaru was looking for them. And either way, this is when Naruto finds, and the rest of Team 7, of course, they find Orochimaru as Orochimaru immediately goes in trying to take Sasuke and whatever. But of course, they're not just gonna let Orochimaru do that, so they start fighting. And the fight is actually pretty even because both Sasuke and Naruto, Sakura's kind of just hiding, of course, are fighting Orochimaru together at the same time, since Naruto in this one wasn't eaten up by the huge snake, since he didn't split off from the group, and they're actually holding their own pretty well. Either way, they just keep fighting and fighting and fighting, as eventually Sasuke finally awakens his Tomoe Sharingan in both eyes, just like he did in the original while fighting Orochimaru. And seeing that Sasuke had powered up as well, Naruto decides, I guess it's time to use my new form. As he screams, "Mastered Kurama Aura Mode," which is, well, the mastered version of the Kurama Aura Mode. And you guys might be confused at the moment, saying, well, what is this Kurama Aura Mode that you're talking about? You just kind of came up with a mode out of nowhere and just doesn't seem to fit in. Well, what Kurama Aura Mode is actually sort of like KCM, but a level below KCM. So it's because in like earlier Naruto, Kurama and Naruto were not friends, and they weren't like whenever Naruto got Kurama's chakra, it was because usually because he was like under Kurama's influence and he had to like try and control it. But in this one, Kurama is willingly giving him access to his chakra reserve, which effectively just completely buffs all of Naruto's stats, and for the most part just gives him, a lot of Kurama's chakra and creates this orangish aura around him, which is why it's called Kurama Aura Mode. So you can just think of it as one step below KCM. But either way, unlocking this new form, Naruto realizes that, they're fighting, and Naruto's just like noticing something. It's faint, but he can feel something different about Orochimaru. I mean, actually, there are many things different about Orochimaru than a normal person, but there's one thing in particular that happens to stand out. Just a certain characteristic about Orochimaru. As Naruto just searches through like his brain, just looking for where he remembers like some of these things from, and then it clicks. It's like, so that's what it is. Orochimaru is a Sage Mode user. And he realizes that at this point, Orochimaru is already pretty wounded from this battle, and he just needs an opening. Because when he sucks like the life force out of someone, as using the sacrifice, he can't just go to a full strength Orochimaru, right? So Naruto just looks for an opening as he continues fighting, and he tells Sasuke to distract Orochimaru. And Sasuke does exactly that. although he is a little bit weaker than Orochimaru, he still did hold his own with two Tomoe against Orochimaru, so I believe he can do the same here. So that's exactly what he does. And the instant Naruto sees the opportunity, he jumps in full strength, using all of the Kurama chakra on his legs to bounce off the tree and stabs his hand straight into Orochimaru's chest, using his claws, because he gets that from the Kurama aura mode, as he sucks the life force out of Orochimaru. And this means that Naruto now has 2 out of the 3 sacrifices required, and Orochimaru is just stunned, realizing that he can't even move anymore. Somehow he just is starting to feel weak. A technique that he had never ever seen before. As after a few seconds he realized what Naruto was doing. He was draining his life force. But he also realized one more thing. There was absolutely nothing he could do about it at the moment, as Sasuke was holding him in place while Naruto was just sucking all of the life force out of him. As Orochimaru says, "You got me this time, but next time I will come back prepared," as his body drops over, dead. Now Naruto has no idea what he means by "I will come back stronger next time and defeat you," because Orochimaru just died. And yes, that is true, but as we all know, Orochimaru can come back to life. Only this time it will be even harder for Orochimaru to come back to life, because Naruto kind of drained his entire life energy and his soul. So this makes it a lot more difficult for Orochimaru to just come back normally, which is great because this means that the Konoha Crush will not be happening, as the only person there is to lead it. Orochimaru was pretending to be the Kazekage and everything, so since Orochimaru is now gone, this means that the Konoha Crush will not actually happen. Either way, Naruto realizes that Orochimaru did have the scroll they were looking for, and taking that scroll, they, took the scroll and went off to finish this part of the Chunin exams at not nearly record speed, but an incredibly impressive speed. They fought Orochimaru for probably about 30 minutes or an hour. The battle wasn't really that long, I must say. So assuming they were also running through the forest for about 30 minutes to an hour before finding Orochimaru, it's pretty safe to assume that and the entire going to the finish line or whatever it's called, it probably took them about 2-3 hours, right? Which is actually a very impressive time. In the original, it took them over a day. So, yeah. And after waiting for everyone else in the Chunin exams to finish as well, and the people who couldn't finish to get eliminated, Hiruzen came and did his entire speech about the Will of Fire and how too many people passed, and saying that they're going to be having to hold preliminary rounds because, too many people passed, and they have to have less people pass. Now, very little would change about the preliminaries, because Sasuke would be able to destroy Jiraiya even easier than he did in the original. Jiraiya being, that Orochimaru's helper person who could steal chakra, which is an incredibly OP ability. He just kind of wasted it. But either way, Sakura would end up tying with Ino again, and Naruto would be going up against Kiba, where Kiba, coming down was I've grown stronger. I'll beat Naruto and show that I am strong and whatever. As Naruto just stands there, And as the battle starts, no, my English just doesn't work. Excuse me, guys, but like I cannot physically speak right now. But as the instant the match starts, Kiba gives Akamaru the pill that they use, and God, yeah, as I said, my English does not work today. They go to do their fang over fang, but as they're about to do it, Naruto activates his Kurama aura mode, releasing an insane amount of just like Naruto's entire presence changes, and this just completely stuns Kiba immediately. Just he shuts up. He was about to say fang over fang, but he just like stopped talking, as just looking at Naruto made him scared. Like Naruto put fear into everybody that was watching except for the Jonin. And this was because of course, Kurama's aura just being so intimidating, as Naruto did his slow and dramatic walk towards Kiba, as he just stood still, being like trying to move, but also sort of not being able to, just because of like the pressure, because Naruto was like sending out his chakra and just using that chakra just to not keep Kiba down, but just creating a lot of pressure in the air. And Kiba just couldn't move. I mean, he could, but like barely, as he was stuck. And Naruto walked up to him, holding him by the neck, lifting him up and saying, "Listen, forfeit right now before you regret it." As Kiba says, "Okay, I'll forfeit. I forfeit. I surrender." As Naruto says, "He surrendered. Give me the win." As the proctor just says, yeah, right away. And with that, Naruto passes the preliminary rounds. And this is when they go on a 1 month break. And of course, all of the things with Hinata and Neji, and Rock Lee and Gaara and Tamari and Tenten, all of those other matches go the same basically as canon. And this is when they all go off on their 1 month break. Now, during this 1 month break, Naruto just decides to rest because, it's a 1 month break. He could train, but he doesn't really need to, so he won't train. As he is kind of planning on training, but not right now. He's first going to take a break, and he goes to the hot springs, as on his way there, he gets recognized by a certain someone with long white hair. This being our favorite pervy toad sage, Jiraiya. And Jiraiya, recognizing Naruto, just kind of like goes up to him, being like, "Yo, Naruto, is that you?" And Naruto turns around, not recognizing this person, except being like, "Wait, are you one of the legendary Sannin?" And Jiraiya's like, "Yes, I am," doing his like stance, being all proud of himself as he's just like pointing at himself, that grin on his face. And then he just kind of like goes back to the conversation and is like, "Well, Naruto, I do have to say something to you." And although Naruto is kind of confused how this person knows his name, Jiraiya explains how he's Naruto's godfather and all of the other stuff, and Naruto's like, "I mean, one, cool, okay, I'd love to train." But then he's also like, "Then where were you when I was literally living alone with no parents and basically no money? I mean, some godfather you are, like, you definitely did your job great, but either way, he accepts the training offer, and they get to training. As during this time, Naruto learns the Rasengan. And, I mean, the Rasengan is actually, Naruto can learn it in a month, pretty easily, especially in this what if, because, well, the Ninetales isn't interfering, one, and two, the Ninetales is actually helping him. So he does learn the Rasengan in this 1 month time. And Jiraiya also offers to help Naruto do the Toad Sage summoning, like become like a Toad Sage, do the Toad summoning, but Naruto declines, saying that he doesn't need that because eventually he'll be powerful enough. Like he's oh god, again my English, but he just says that he doesn't need Toad Sage mode because he has a more powerful mode, like something more powerful in mind that he's aiming for. And you guys are like, wait, but why doesn't he learn both Sage mode and baryon mode? Well, from what I know, when Naruto used baryon mode in Boruto, he wasn't actually using it with Sage mode. So when you use baryon mode, you use baryon mode, not like baryon mode plus Sage mode. Is it possible? Possibly. It might be possible, but I am not here to like bend the rules of Naruto and kind of assume what could be this what if is kind of literally me doing that, but I just want to not do it more than I need to. But yeah, either way, Naruto comes to the end of his 1 month training and heads off to the final part of the Chunin exams. So last time we left off, Naruto was just heading to the final part of the Chunin exams. And, well, as he arrives there, the proctor would, like, give the entire, like, introduction thingy, announce what all the matches are gonna be, and say that Neji and Naruto are gonna be fighting first. Of course, as they both step onto the ring, Neji will do his speech about how he's destined to win or whatever, but Naruto really wouldn't listen, he couldn't care less. And it's just, this kind of gets Neji mad for obvious reasons. He doesn't like being ignored, especially when he feels so entitled and wants to win so bad. But with that in mind, Neji is the first one to run straight in at Naruto. And Naruto and Neji actually start fighting pretty equally for the first, like, half-ish of the battle. But then that is when Neji pulls out his ultimate weapon as he says, "You're in range," and gets down to a certain stance, as he says, 8 trigrams, 64 palms, and strikes strikes Naruto's chakra points over and over and over and over again, and as the title suggests, 64 times, as Naruto is actually surprised by the speed, strength, and, well, mostly precision of this attack. He actually was not expecting that much from somebody like Neji, as he falls backward with Neji just grinning, being like, that should teach him. But this is when Naruto gets back up, and Neji, surprised, is like, how did you get back up? And Naruto's like just smiling, and Neji's like, I hit all of his chakra points, I shouldn't have missed any. And suddenly, as Naruto gets back up, a orangish aura starts to appear around him, and just Neji feels immense, like, fear and pressure, just like this aura coming off of Naruto. Well, because it's the Kurama aura mode, that's why there's an aura coming off of Naruto. That's pretty self-explanatory, but Neji is just shocked. And you guys might be sort of curious as well as to how he just completely tanked the 64 palms, and that is because, according to what happens in the original, the Nine Tails does not get affected by the 64 palms technique, as we see, because when Naruto falls down, he goes into the QB influence mode and is able to just continue fighting just like that. So, assuming that this time the Nine Tails is actually on Naruto's side, I don't think this will be any different. And Naruto, using the Kurama aura mode, creates a Rasengan in his hand, being like, it's time to test this out, as he runs in at Neji. But Neji, mustering up the little bit of strength he has, uses a rotation to block the Rasengan. But this doesn't really matter to Naruto, as this rotation creates a bunch of dust in the surrounding area. He's able to quickly just move to Neji's back as he punches him down into the ground, and then again, knocking Neji out, and, well, winning this round of the Chunin exams. Now, all of the other matches go basically the exact same, all the way up until Sasuke's fight, where Sasuke ends up stabbing Gaara through the shoulder, and Gaara goes into his half-transformed state. And in this scenario, as Sasuke keeps fighting this half-transformed Gaara, you might be wondering, wait, but isn't this when the Konoha Crush is supposed to start? Well, yes, but no. Because if you don't remember, Orochimaru is dead. Dead, at least for the time being, due to Naruto. And this means that the Konoha Crush won't be happening. Either way, Sasuke continues to fight Gaara, and due to him not having the curse mark, he's actually able to fight at full strength. And this time he actually is, with his training, with his Tutomoe Sharingan, able to go up against a half-transformed Gaara in his half one-tail state, which is actually really impressive for Sasuke. And this is when he uses his second Chidori, because remember, he can use 2 Chidori, and then the third one doesn't really work. At that moment, he's not strong enough to do 3 in a row. So he uses his second Chidori, saying, this time I won't miss. And he stabs Gaara through the chest, knocking him out. And the proctor says, Sasuke wins. But this is also when Gaara starts transforming, because, he got knocked out, and he starts transforming into the One-Tails. Now, this still counts as Sasuke wins, because he did knock out Gaara, so, this is just the One-Tails going on a rampage. And realizing this, all of the Jonin and Naruto just step in to stop the One-Tails. And assuming that a Genin Naruto, pre-time skip, pre-basically anything, was able to not defeat the One-Tails, but at least wake Gaara up, I'm assuming that an entire stadium worth of Jonin, Chunin, the Hokage, and a bunch of talented Genin should be able to do the trick. So yeah, the One-Tails gets taken care of. Either way, all the matches keep going on and on and on, because the tournament actually continues until the finals, which is Sasuke versus Naruto. And no, Sasuke does go into the the area, being you know what? Maybe I can win. Maybe I can show Naruto I'm powerful, right? But he would be pretty mistaken, because Naruto is still leagues ahead of him, and using his mastered Kurama aura mode, he's able to absolutely destroy Sasuke, especially when you account for the fact that Sasuke has already used his 2 Chidoris, so he can't even use the Chidori against Naruto, which just is a big nerf, which means Naruto absolutely destroys him. winning the Chunin exams and getting promoted to Chunin. Although Sasuke gets promoted too, and so does Shikamaru, and some others, because, well, that is how the Chunin exams work. You don't have to win to get promoted. You can just, as long as you do well, you get promoted. That's how Shikamaru was able to get promoted in the original. But you guys probably already knew that, so I don't have to explain that. But either way, this is when we move on to the time skip. Because remember, Hiruzen doesn't die, so they don't need Tsunade necessarily, but Tsunade will come. I'll cover that later. And the Sasuke retrieval arc does not happen because Sasuke does not have the curse mark. And also Orochimaru's dead. All pretty simple. Either way, time skip. Time skip happens. And Jiraiya and Naruto go off to train, where once again Jiraiya offers Naruto to teach him Sage Mode, but Naruto declines once more, saying again he has a much bigger, greater goal, and explains everything to Jiraiya, everything about baryon mode and how he only needs one last thing to achieve it, blah blah blah, all that. Either way, Naruto knows that there's no point in rushing baryon mode, so him and Kurama train together as, Naruto trains with Kurama, finally managing to unlock KCM, and from there, actually opening the cage, fist bumping Kurama, and going all the way to KCM 2. And Naruto doesn't. Now, the way Naruto learns about KCM and KCM 2, because remember, in this version, Kurama doesn't necessarily, know. I mean, he knows, but, doesn't know exactly how KCM and KCM 2 work that well. So Naruto actually goes back to the libraries, the Uzumaki libraries, to get the required books, and anyways, gets KCM 2, pretty simple, which is OP, but realizing that Naruto and Kurama in this have been friends since Naruto was like a tiny baby, it does make a lot of sense. As while Naruto was, continuing to train with Jiraiya, exploring areas, he got a letter from a bird. As he picked it up thinking, why would anyone be, trying to send a message to me now? As he opens it up and it says, urgent, come back to the village, now, the village is under attack. Naruto, understanding the importance of this and how, actually urgent this must be if they sent a letter like this, immediately told Jiraiya about it, and both Jiraiya and Naruto ran back to the village full speed, full strength, Naruto using all of his power to run back to the village just to go in time to, save them from whatever attack is happening. And they would be in the Sand Village, so it would take a little bit of time, but Naruto would in fact come back in time, sort of, which would be, I'll tell you. As Naruto would be getting close to the village, as he would see a huge crater, a crater inside of the village, the size of nothing he's seen before. It looks like a huge meteor just hit the center of the village, and there's this huge hole inside of it, and there is this orange-haired guy with a black cloak in the sky. And Naruto realized who this is, an Akatsuki member. With that knowledge, Naruto uses even more speed, going 105% speed to the village, as right as words, question mark, yes, no, one of the paths of pain is about to attack. somebody else, Naruto just goes in, completely decapitating them as the head falls to the ground, and all of the paths of pain turn to look in Naruto's direction, seeing him, as they say, "Well, I was expecting you. Took you long enough." So late. Look at all the damage that has already been done to the village. You couldn't come back in time to save your own village. How pathetic. Some hero you are. As this gets Naruto mad, and he's like, "Well, if you're so cocky, why don't you just come and fight me? Let's see if you can back up your words." As Pain says, "Well, gladly." And Naruto in his KCM2 mode is, well, actually very powerful, because think about it. Naruto using Sage mode was able to defeat the Paths of Pain. KCM is stronger than Sage mode, and KCM2 is stronger than KCM. So Naruto has a pretty big buff. I mean, he was actually able to go like up against even Madara until he got, well, the Ten-Tail stuff using KCM2. I mean, not really, but like you get what I mean. Like, he only had to add Sage mode to KCM2 when Obito did his old Ten-Tails thingy, because he needed like Sage energy, whatever. But otherwise, KCM2 is very OP, and definitely more than enough to take care of the Paths of Pain, and defeats all of the Paths of Pain, including the Diva Path. But Jiraiya, having come back as well, recognizes who these are, and explains to Naruto how, well, these aren't actual people. These are being controlled by one person. And Naruto takes out one of the black rods, and just follows like the chakra, just like he did in the original, tracking it all the way back to where Nagato is hiding, seeing the huge like fake paper tree, and barging inside as he says, "Well, looks like I finally found it. Looks like I finally found what I needed. Oh, by the way, remember what you were saying about me not being strong enough? Well, what happened now? What happened to your bold claims now? Are you gonna come and fight me?" As Konan immediately tries to stop Naruto, but Naruto just shoves Konan out of the way. Konan, of course, transforming into paper, like reappears in front of him saying, "No, don't kill him. You'll have to get through me first." As Naruto says, "Oh, really?" And just Konan says, "Yeah." And Naruto, realizing this, says, "Well, getting through you isn't gonna be that hard. I mean, you're paper after all. What are you gonna do to me? Give me a paper cut?" As Naruto charges up all of his energy, as he goes full strength, just goes straight through Konan and his paper, and goes to stab Nagato straight in the heart. And Konan, seeing this, decided to use her final move, one last-ditch effort to kill Naruto, no matter what. As, remember the ability Konan used against Obito that basically made this huge explosion that lasted for multiple minutes on end, like with the crazy amount of explosives? Yeah, that is what Konan uses, having it already set up around the tree, expecting that something like this might happen, but she hoped that she would never have to use this move. But Naruto had to die, no matter what, so she had to activate it. As suddenly, everything started blowing up, and Naruto, realizing this, is just like, "Oh no, I'm dead." And for 3 minutes, I think, on end, there's just pure explosions, like infinite amounts of paper bombs just constantly exploding. And as finally the explosions stop, Naruto looks up as he opens his eyes, and he's like, I'm alive. How am I alive? As he looks at his hands, realizing he's done it. He was able to absorb Nagato in the little nick of time that he had. Naruto was now in baryon mode. As looking up at Konan, Naruto said, "You messed up. You messed up big time." And Konan was just absolutely shocked at the fact that Naruto had just survived through all of that. But she also realized that Naruto was 100 or 1,000 times more powerful than what he was moments ago. And although she had no idea how he had transformed, she didn't have much time to question it either, as Naruto instantly appeared behind her, killing her as well. And this is also when Naruto, with his new enhanced abilities, sends two presences, one belonging to Zetsu and the other belonging to none other than Obito. As Naruto used full speed, his entire full speed, to basically teleport, not really, but from what Zetsu can see, teleport behind him, as Naruto picked Zetsu up and using, the ability of baryon mode to lower people's lifespan, just basically almost did a chokehold on Zetsu and lowered Zetsu's lifespan all the way down to when Zetsu was basically dead, and just finished him off. And you guys might be like, wait, but that's not how it works. You can't just kill someone instantly just by, yeah, of course not. Of course he's not. I'm just simplifying it because I don't feel like going over Naruto just beating up Zetsu for a while. And I'm just saying he ends up killing Zetsu, and the basic idea of how he does it, because Zetsu is, pretty hard to kill, but I'm assuming the lifespan thingy will work on Zetsu. I'm assuming. It's my what if, so I'm just gonna say it does. But either way, the only opponent left would be Obito, who was here to, claim Nagato's Rinnegan. But seeing what Naruto had just done to Zetsu, he understood that Naruto had some sort of ability that could sort of decrease your lifespan. That's what Obito can understand. That's what he thinks is happening just from looking at it. That's what he thinks this ability is, just like this entire mode is. So he just says, well, as long as I don't let him get a hold of me, it should be fine. And if it touches me, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, I can just use my Kamui, as he's thinking that. And Naruto literally uses speeds, kind of teleporting behind Obito, and chops his head off, clean off. Because you guys might be like, but how is Naruto so strong? Obito can always Kamui. No, he really can't. I mean, Obito in this state doesn't even have the Rinnegan and isn't that strong. He's weaker than Madara, he's weaker than Ten Tails Madara, he's weaker than Kaguya, he's weaker than Ishiki, and Naruto is stronger than Ishiki, which means he's tens of thousands of times stronger than Obito, and basically just go at speeds that Obito cannot even keep track of. Naruto can kill Obito hundreds of times over before he can even blink, which is why Obito dies. And of course, so did Zetsu, meaning that is the end of, well, the Akatsuki, both no longer having Nagato, their like quote-unquote leader, not having Obito, who is kind of like manipulating him, and not having Zetsu, who is kind of manipulating Obito, or no, manipulating Madara, who's it's complicated, yeah. It's and then Kaguya is using Zetsu. Either way, kind of getting rid of Zetsu and Obito and Nagato is more than enough to get rid of the Akatsuki. And with that, Naruto becomes the Hokage and reaches a sort of strength that is impossible to be topped by, well, anyone else. And Ishiki, yes, he does arrive eventually in Boruto, which I don't plan on going into, but just know Naruto absolutely destroys Ishiki because baryon mode. Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today's What If. And if you did enjoy this series, if you did make it to the end of this series, I really do assume that hopefully I did something that was able to keep you watching for this entire time, and maybe that means I deserve a like, but really, that's up to you. So yeah, see you guys next time.